Hey, welcome back. Glad you're here. Just wanted to take a moment and go over the OSD for the Wolfe PDB. The Wolfe PDB is a new product out by ImpulseRC in collaboration with Alex Wolfe, the creator of KISS OSD. They work together on the Mr. Steel PDB that Impulse provides, but for the reverb frame, which I have here, they wanted to do something a little bit different, and the result is the Wolfe PDB. Now, I have a video where I covered the overview of the Wolfe PDB, its layout a little bit, the installation onto this particular frame. I'll leave a card for that right here. Please be sure to go watch that if you're interested. Today what I want to do is a goggle walkthrough. I want to show you what the menu looks like. I want to show you where you can change the various settings in the menu. So without further ado, let's dive right in to the Wolfe PDB OSD walkthrough. Alright, so when you first get into the on-screen display and you've flown a pack, you'll get shown this, which is really helpful if you disconnect but you weren't quite done. So if you want to continue your last battery, you roll to the right. We're going to roll to the left. And here's the initial on-screen display that you're going to see. This is mine, the way I normally have it set up. And you can do something cool with this. I'll get into the details of this, but using the potentiometer, the slider on the radio, I can turn on all the icons. So here's a whole bunch of icons, and in fact not all of them are shown because I don't have GPS turned on. So I'm going to back this back down and you'll see them start to slowly disappear. Alright, there we go. That's what I fly with. Alright, so yaw to the left brings up the menu. And tuning, rates, filters, video transmitter. So I'm running a Tramp with KISS, so I can have the minimum power set to 25 milliwatts and the maximum power set to 600 milliwatts. So at the moment I arm, that's what it goes to, and you can change your band and channel, and when you're done you hit set and exit and it will change all of those settings. For battery, this is really handy. You can select the battery. So if maybe you fly with a 1500 here, and maybe you've got a 1000 milliamp hour here, you can very quickly change that from the flight menu, and so then your milliamp hour warnings will automatically scale between batteries 1 and 2. And looks like there are 4 slots available to you. Alright, so y'all have to go back. All your typical battery warnings, your percentage of your milliamp hours, voltage warnings, etc., voltage per cell. You can do all your corrections, etc., here. So this is pretty standard stuff, but there's some cool features that aren't available on any of the other OSDs available out there, at least to my knowledge anyways. Standard camera control here. So if I roll to the right, I enter this menu, yaw left to enter, yaw right to exit. So yaw left to enter. And here we go, down through all these menus. Yaw left is enter, and yaw right to exit. Alright, now this is where it gets cool. So you've got all these different options. Your basic setup, advanced display, callsign, RSSI, camera configuration. So basic setup, your language, your units of measure if you want metric or imperial, what goggle system you're using, whether or not you want statistics. You can choose which items that you want to see. So I don't want to see throttle, so I turn it off. Cell voltage, milliamp hour, ESC telemetry, RSSI, watt meter, VTX information, GPS information. So the Wolfe PDB can do GPS, and if you're flying with a KISS system, that's awesome because KISS cannot do GPS. But the flight controller will do a pass-through. And this will show up on your on-screen display, and the PDB will actually make sense of everything that you need. For KISS, that's coming on a future update. At the time of this video, it's not out yet, but I've been promised that it's coming soon. And it's currently late August 2018 at the time of this recording. So if you need to move items, so using these various commands, pitch, roll, etc., you can move, and so you'll see it's blinking to indicate what needs to move. It's my amperage. I'm going to leave that right there. and you yaw left to jump to the next one. And so I'm going to press and long hold. But you can change that, and that's super unique with the KISS OSD system. I'm not aware of anybody right now who can do that through the goggles. Certainly you can do that through Betaflight, the GUI, but you have to be connected to your quad that way. If you want icons, props icons, ESC icons, etc., you can turn those on if you just want to see the numbers. Then turn them to off. Okay. And that's a super brief walkthrough through basic. And then advanced display. This is where I was using the potentiometer to change what items were on my screen, and I've set that up through aux3 on my radio. I'm running a Taranis QX7, so I've set that to that particular slider dial, and then with this selected, as I turn that dial, items will turn on and off based on the change order. So here you press right on the roll, and you select it and you pitch forward or back to move them, and then you roll left and it deselects. So this is my sequence. You can move through all of these and tell it how you want it to show up. If you need to center your on-screen display, you can use this to do so. If you like to fly with a crosshair, you can turn it on or off. If you want to change your timer mode, you can change that as well. Call sign, that's pretty straightforward. You go in here and set up your call sign. RSSI, so let's say you're flying with Crossfire. It's pre-programmed. Let's say you're flying with FrSky. It's pre-programmed. If you got something custom, you can set that up as well. Alright, if you have a particular camera you want to use, HS1190, Predator, RunCam, you can set that up. With the RunCam Eagle 2 Pro, default settings work just fine, as you saw earlier. If you're running a split, you can set that up as well. GPS, again, I don't have GPS on here, but if I did, all of these options would be available for me to select and make my changes. If you want to run LEDs, here's your LED menu. So that, I'm going to save and exit, and I'll roll you through here. If I roll my slider all the way off, I get absolutely nothing on the screen. If I begin to roll them on, they come on in the order that I've selected, all the way on to the ESCs. And I'll power this on real quick so you can see what the prop symbols do. It's kind of gimmicky, but it's fun. They start moving. How fun. I do have my propellers off. That's something you should always do if you're doing any kind of work where you're connecting your battery to your quadcopter. But anyways, that's a very quick walkthrough of the Wolfe PDB OSD running KISS OSD by Alex Wolfe and ImpulseRC. Thanks for watching.